The movie starts in Bristol, England on Christmas Eve. The real Santa Claus is hanging out in a pub enjoying some drinks before he heads out to deliver gifts. He chats with a mall Santa who loves his job, but Santa himself feels tired and disappointed with the holiday because people seem to care only about presents and are getting naughtier. Before he leaves, Santa drops off a gift for the bartender's grandson, who is puzzled about how Santa knows him. The bartender chases after him to scold him, thinking he's just another drunk guy. But when she looks up, she sees Santa flying away in his sleigh with his reindeer. Just as she realizes Santa is real, he accidentally throws up over the side of the sleigh, and it lands right on her face. After this, Jason Lightstone is getting together with his wife Linda, who he hasn't seen in a while, and their daughter Trudy. Even though they want to make the holiday special for Trudy, things are pretty tense between the parents. They all go to Jason's family mansion because the Lightstones are super rich. Jason's mom, Gertrude, is a tough CEO, and his sister Alva is really hoping to get their mom's attention, since she feels like Jason is the favorite. Alva brings along her not-so-smart actor boyfriend, Morgan Steele, and her annoying teenage son, Bert. Meanwhile, Santa doesn't really enjoy Christmas that much. He just drops off things like money and stockings and random gadgets that nobody really needs. He munches on the cookies and milk left for him, but he also sneaks some drinks from the adults' stash. When he arrives at the Lightstone house, he takes a break in their massage chair. Jason and Linda decide to let Trudy open one present early, which turns out to be a pair of walkie-talkies. After they leave her room, they hear her chatting on the walkie-talkie as if she's talking to Santa. She says her biggest wish for Christmas is for her parents to get back together. Jason and Linda look at each other with regret. Meanwhile, a group of mercenaries pretending to be employees starts their mission when one of them, named Gingerbread, takes out the head of security. Their leader, Scrooge, eliminates the guard at the front gate before they all go into the Lightstone house. Once inside, Scrooge gathers his fellow mercenaries to take the family captive. Scrooge claims that Gertrude has stashed away $300 million that was supposed to be sent to the Middle East, and that the cash is hidden in a vault somewhere in the house. Santa hears the sound of gunfire and tries to escape, but a goon named Tinsel catches up with him. Tinsel tries to take Santa down, but Santa gets back up and fights back. The noise from Tinsel's gun scares the reindeer, making them fly away and leaving Santa all alone. During their struggle, Santa and Tinsel crash through a window. Santa lands safely, but Tinsel ends up getting stuck on an icicle. Santa realizes he doesn't have enough Christmas magic to help himself, so he heads to the front gate and finds the operator is dead. Just then, Trudy talks to him through a walkie-talkie after he picks up the other one to ask for help. When she asks for his assistance, Santa decides to stay and help out. Santa runs into another mercenary named Frosty when he gets back into the house. They have a brutal fight with Frosty trying to stab him. Santa uses his magical bag of gifts to block the attacks, but he can't pull out anything useful as a weapon. Thinking quickly, Santa grabs the star from the Christmas tree and jams it into Frosty's eye. Then he plugs the star into an outlet, electrocuting Frosty and setting his head on fire. Later, when Scrooge calls to check on his team, Santa picks up Frosty's walkie-talkie and tells Scrooge that Frosty is dead, and the rest of them will be soon too. Scrooge sends his goons to look for Santa and makes fun of the Lightstones at the same time. His henchwoman, Candy Cane, starts to hurt Jason by using a nutcracker to break one of his fingers, and then she tries to use a bigger nutcracker for an even worse purpose. Just when they are about to hurt Jason more, Trudy jumps in and yells at the bad guys, saying that Santa is there to help them. But then Jason tells her that Santa isn't real, and that parents are the ones who put presents under the tree and pretend they're from him. Trudy gets really upset and runs away to hide in the attic while the goons chase after her. She talks to Santa again on her walkie-talkie, and he shows her he's the real Santa by remembering all the gifts she had wished for over the years, making her believe in him again. When she brings up the villains, Santa checks his naughty list and sees all their names, while he reassures Trudy that she has always been on the nice list. Scrooge keeps messing with the Lightstones by making the adults give Gertrude her gifts. Morgan presents a business pitch to boost his career, but Gertrude isn't interested at all. Alva gives her a framed picture from the day she was born, but Gertrude doesn't care about that either. Then it's Jason's turn, and his gift is a bottle of whiskey with a note he doesn't want her to see. Gertrude reads the note but decides to keep whatever it says just between them. Meanwhile, Santa tries to take out Candy Cane but accidentally activates a toy Santa, which blows his cover. She alerts Scrooge, who teams up with Gingerbread to catch him. They find Santa under the attic, knock him out and tie him up, demanding to know who he really is. Santa surprises them by revealing their real names. Scrooge is Jimmy, Gingerbread is Bjorn, and Candy Cane is Kira, and the things they wished for as kids. Scrooge explains his hatred for Christmas, saying his family was too poor to celebrate after his dad lost his job. He once tried to steal presents from a neighbor's house but accidentally scared their grandfather, causing the man to fall and die. From the attic, Trudy creates a diversion by using styrofoam through the vents to make fake snow. For a moment, the villains start to believe Santa might be real. This gives Santa enough time to use his magic to shoot himself up the chimney and escape. Morgan tries to escape by leaping out of the window, right when Gertrude's rescue team shows up to save the family. Instead of helping, the team turns out to be working with Scrooge. Their leader, Commander Thorpe, orders his men to kill Morgan. Meanwhile, Scrooge warns Thorpe about Santa, and Santa notices more bad guys' names appearing on the naughty list, signaling he still has work to do. As Santa plans his next move, he opens up to Trudy about his past. Centuries ago, he was a brutal Viking warrior named Nicomund the Red, known for destroying enemies with his powerful hammer, Skull Crusher. Although he's tried to leave that violent life behind, Trudy convinces him to use those skills to fight back. When the extraction team begins storming the house, Santa arms himself with a sledgehammer he finds in the basement. He unleashes his old warrior instincts, smashing through the goons with brutal force. He even sharpens a candy cane into a weapon and uses it to take down more villains. Trudy sets up traps inspired by Home Alone in the attic as Gingerbread and Candy Cane come after her. Gingerbread steps on a broken ladder rung, causing his chin to land on a sharp nail. Candy Cane tries to climb over him to get ahead, spotting most of Trudy's traps, but the girl still manages to hit her with a few bowling balls. One of the bowling balls rolls out of the attic and hits Gingerbread, making him fall backward onto a pile of nails. As he pulls one out, another bowling ball falls and drives the nail into his skull, killing him. Candy Cane closes in on Trudy, but before she can harm her, Santa arrives and saves the day by smashing Candy Cane's head in. Scrooge and Thorpe go under the house and discover that Gertrude's vault has been emptied. Furious, they confront Gertrude and hold Linda at gunpoint, demanding answers. This forces Jason to confess that he stole the money. He admits he planned to use it to start a better life with Linda and Trudy, far away from his toxic family. He explains that his note to Gertrude was meant to explain his actions the next morning after he'd already left. When the villains are called away, henchman Krampus threatens to kill Linda, Alva, or Bert. The three argue over who should be the target, using the distraction to give Alva a chance to act. She throws wine into the fireplace behind Krampus, stunning him. Together they attack him, and Alva finishes him off by stabbing a fire poker into his neck. Meanwhile, Santa reunites Trudy with Linda. As Scrooge and Thorpe take Gertrude and Jason to a place where money is hiding, more goons arrive, but the rest of the Lightstones fight back. Santa goes after Scrooge, while Jason and Linda team up to fight off the remaining goons in a nativity display. After defeating the last of them, Jason and Linda share a passionate kiss, which Trudy happily notices. Santa jumps on a snowmobile to chase down the villains, taking out the remaining goons along the way. He knocks Thorpe off his snowmobile before catching up to Scrooge. The two get into a brutal fight, with Scrooge using every weapon he can to try and stab Santa. During the struggle, Scrooge finds the naughty list and sees his name on it, finally realizing that this really is Santa Claus. Scrooge tries to bargain, saying that killing him will ruin Christmas, but now that Scrooge believes, Santa's magic grows stronger. Using this power, Santa shoots up a nearby chimney, dragging Scrooge with him. On the way up, Scrooge's body gets crushed, and pieces of him shoot out the chimney top. Santa feels victorious for a moment, but Thorpe suddenly reappears and shoots him 4 times, preparing to finish him off. Before he can, Gertrude grabs a nearby gun and takes Thorpe out with a single shot to the head. The other Lightstones arrive and rush to help Santa. Jason starts burning some of the stolen money to keep him warm, even though Alva protests. Santa seems to be dying until Trudy tells him that she still believes in him and always will. Linda follows, saying she believes because Santa saved their family. Jason joins in next, and eventually, Bert, Gertrude, and Alva begrudgingly agree, restoring Santa's magic and bringing him back to life. Santa thanks the Lightstones, who return the gratitude. As they watch, the reindeer return with his sleigh along with the original Skull Crusher, accompanied by a note from Mrs. Claus. Santa bids them farewell and takes off into the night to continue his Christmas duties. In this way, movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more interesting movie recaps.